Hello everyone, my name is Kien and I live in Vietnam. I'm 34 years old, married, and I have 3 daughters. Today is the very first day of my YouTube journey, and I really hope you'll support my channel. Here, I'll be sharing the everyday life of an ordinary Vietnamese family. This is the road leading to my home. I live in a small commune about 16 kilometers from the center of Hanoi. Even today, it's still a very peaceful neighborhood. This gate actually belongs to my uncle's house. My family has our own gate too, but we usually share this entrance because it's simply more convenient. In the yard, you'll see a Rangoon creeper that I planted a few years ago. Produces beautiful flowers. Here we can play sports or just have a good chat. Now, come along and take a tour of my house. This is a 3-story house with a design that's very common in Vietnam. In Vietnam, most people don't like living in apartments. They prefer to build a house on their own land, even if it's small, only about 538 to 646 square feet. I didn't build this house myself. Right now, I live here with my parents. In Vietnam, after getting married, many couples move into their own homes if they can afford it. But if buying a house isn't possible, it's very common to live with your parents in a home like this. For me, living with my parents isn't inconvenient at all. Sharing the same home helps our family stay close and makes it easier to support each other whenever needed. This is the first floor. It's about 645 square feet. On this floor, there's a living room, a kitchen, and a small restroom. The living room is where our family spends most of our time together. We eat our meals, chat, and the kids play here. There's a wooden sofa set and a TV. Our kitchen has a microwave, an electric stove, and a water purifier. In Vietnam, most families cook at home every day. We usually only eat out for special occasions like birthdays or celebrations. Now, let's head upstairs to the 2nd floor. This type of house is very common in Vietnam. Many families live in homes like this. It's not very big, but it's not too small either. I know many people have much harder lives than mine, so I'm truly grateful for what I have. This is my bedroom. We don't use a bed because there are 5 people in my little family. Since our daughters are still young, we all sleep together. In Vietnam, it's pretty normal for kids to sleep with their parents until they are 8 or 9 years old. We feel so happy coming home every evening and playing around together here. This bedroom is over 215 square feet. Next is the bedroom shared by my mother and my 2nd daughter. My mother's room has much less furniture than mine. This old TV hasn't been used for a long time. The wardrobe is shared by my mother and my daughter. These are the clothes my mother wears when she visits the temple. She has a strong faith in Buddhism. I think that's a wonderful thing. I really admire the compassion and kindness that Buddhism teaches. Next to my bedroom is our family bathroom. As you can see, it's a little messy because we have several young children. It has a toilet and a water heater, which is very common in Vietnamese homes. Now let's go up to the 3rd floor. This room serves 2 purposes. It's our family altar room and also the workspace for my younger brother and me. I work from home almost all the time. I used to run an online business selling products on a Vietnamese e-commerce platform. However, the platform fees have increased significantly over the past few years, which greatly reduced my income. That's one of the reasons I decided to start this YouTube channel. I know there's nothing especially unique about my life for Vietnamese viewers. That's why I decided to make my videos in English for people around the world. Maybe you'll find everyday life in Vietnam interesting. Here is my brother and his work desk. And right beside it is where my daughter sits and studies. This is my desk, and right next to it is a small bookshelf. Now let's step out onto the 3rd floor balcony. From here, you can see the small road leading to my house, along with the neighboring homes. Most houses in this area have a very similar design. Nowadays in Hanoi, neighbors aren't as close as they were 10 or 20 years ago. I'm not exactly sure why, but perhaps life has simply become busier and more stressful. This is the bathroom on the third floor. Since no one really uses it, we've turned it into our laundry area with the washing machine and the clothes dryer here. The washing machine cost around $300, while the clothes dryer cabinet cost about $50. Next to the bathroom is our drying area. In Vietnam, most people prefer drying clothes outdoors instead of using a dryer. The sunshine and the wind do the job naturally. Next, I'm going to take you to a traditional Vietnamese wedding. Today, my whole family is attending the wedding. In Vietnam, weddings usually have a lot of guests. In fact, I've never even met the bride or the groom before. But that's completely normal here, it's just part of our culture. What's important is that you come to celebrate and sincerely wish the bride and groom a happy life together. In Vietnam, if you can't finish your food at a wedding, it's perfectly normal to take the leftovers home for the children in your family. My mother and my aunt are packing up the leftover food to take home. I think it's a great habit because food shouldn't be wasted. Another one of my relatives gave my daughter a bag of oranges to take home. Such a thoughtful and heartwarming gesture. The wedding venue is built using a temporary steel frame, and then it's beautifully decorated. As you can see, Vietnamese weddings are often very large, with hundreds of guests. A wedding like this usually costs around $20,000. In Vietnam, it's very common for the bride's and groom's parents to organize and pay for the wedding. After the meal, it's time for us to head home. Nowadays, there are many more cars in Vietnam than there used to be. My country has come a long way and is no longer as poor as it was in the years after the war. However, owning a car in Vietnam is still quite expensive. Well, that's it for my very first video. I'd really appreciate any comments or suggestions you have down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.